Hi, my friends. Hello, hello. How are we doing today? How is everybody? I thought today we would go through what I bought at Barnes& Noble today. I'm not usually a Barnes& Noble person. I am absolutely a indie bookstore type of person. However, in this day and age, I think buying books from any bookstore is alright. And also, this was a new Barnes & Noble location that opened up near my friend's house, and there are no indie bookstores around her. So I bought 2 novels. I bought a book about flowers, and I bought 2 little blind boxes. I lose all self-control when I go into a bookstore. I don't think I've walked into a bookstore and not bought a book in probably years. I used to work at an independent bookstore, so I guess since I stopped working there, I haven't walked into a bookstore and not bought a book. Which means that sometimes I really need to avoid bookstores because I don't have any money. But today was a really fun day. I got to go with my friend, and we're both very opinionated about books and covers and literary tropes and all sorts of stuff, so she's very fun to talk to because we can both be kind of snobby about it. I'm actually super picky about my book covers. I do not like the kind of new cartoony cover look that's sort of pastel colors and then a faceless or very simply drawn person. And I also don't like the look of a lot of current fantasy novels that are just a line of words and then swirls around it. I just think they're very, very overused, so it was fun walking around Barnes and Noble and talking crap with her. So I don't judge anyone for what they read, but I do judge the books themselves. Reading is great. Definitely read what you want. However, I am quite snobby and I have pretty high standards. So yeah, I thought that we'd start off with our blind boxes, and then I'd tell you about these 2 novels that I bought, and then we'd go through some flowers. This is really pretty. It was also only $12. So, the 2 blind boxes I have, I can't read any of the words on them, but we have these little plants, and then we have these little thingies filled with beads. These look like jellyfish, and maybe this is a different kind of jellyfish. I don't actually know, but I'm more excited about this one. So let's open our little plant one. It looks like we have, they're all little succulents, and it looks like we have 5 choices. We have we have this round reddish guy. Then on the other side we have this one with two little puffballs on it. I'm not sure if those are flowers or I don't know what else they'd be. I think they're flowers. Then we have this pink one. And then we have this round one. Honestly, I'm hoping for the pink one. But I only bought one, so these were expensive too. This one was $7 and this one was $7. And I do not have the budget to be buying a bunch of the same blind box. I also don't have the space. I'm not much of a, tchotchke collector. I have a couple, but I don't, want to hoard stuff, you know? It is absolutely in my genes to be, just kind of a collector, hoarder, getting everything, keeping everything, but also it really stresses me out, so I try to fight my nature and not do it. Alright, we've opened our box. Alright, and let's open her up. Oh, okay. We didn't get the pink one, but that's okay. We got this little guy who is quite bulbous. Let's open this up. Or try to. Alright. He's quite cute. Got a little tiny face on it. These little round bits at the top are clear, or not clear, sorry, they are transparent. You can't see through them, but they do let the light through. It's in a little pot. I think that's quite cute. It can stay on my shelf. Alright, and let's open this one. I'm very intrigued by these because they seem to have beads in them, which is promising for ASMR videos. It looks like there's two different kinds. There's these, and we have an orange and pink one, a yellow and green one, a blue and purple one, and then we have these rounder ones, and these are only one color. We have a pink one, a blue one, or a teal one, and a blue one. So I don't really think I have a preference between the shapes. If I get this one, I want this blue and clear one. And if I get this shape, I think I like this yellow and green one. But I kind of like them all, so I don't think I'm gonna be disappointed. Unless they're really bad quality. Let's open her up. I love how the only words I can read on this box are words that are this is not a toy. This is a joking hazard. Don't give this to kids. And I can't read anything else. If anyone can read it, I'd love to know what this says. Like, are these names on the side, or are they like, I don't know, labels? I'm just mutilating this box. Hold on. There we go. It appears to be from a similar company. Yeah, these are both from Qualia Incorporated, because it has the same kind of box. Alright, let's open her up. I think I got exactly what I pointed to. I did. Alright, I got one of the round ones. And let's open her up. Oh, I like this. So it's the little jellyfish with the clear on the outside. And it actually looks like the pearls inside are blue and purple and white. And it's got a cute little face on it. Yeah, I'm actually... This is really cute. I kind of want to get more of these. I think they make nice sounds. I will say, because of the like glitter on the inside and the quality of the plastic, it does look like a little dirty, but it's not. It's just like not super clear. But like when you first look at it, it kind of has that look of like, you know how used like stress balls get like gross and cloudy? It looks like that, but it's still cute. And I think like the other colors won't have that problem. I do really like the sound of the beats inside though. I got these because I could hear the beads on the inside. So I was like, oh, this might sound good. And I agree. I don't know if you agree, though. I think the beads sound nice. But I've told you guys how I feel about kind of like, I don't want to use the word natural because that makes it sound like it's supposed to be like sticks and wood and stuff. But I like sort of uneven sounds like these that aren't man-made, like it's just kind of random and organic the way it comes. I find it very soothing. So hopefully you do too. Alright. Let's put this little guy down just for a little bit. And we're going to take a look at the books I bought. So I bought 2 novels. One of these novels appears to be by a local author, which is why I got it. It's by a local black author. And I absolutely, want to support black authors and especially local authors. So this book is called Tumbling by Diane McKinney-Whetstone, who is the author of 5 acclaimed novels, and the recipient of numerous awards, including the American Library Association's Black Caucus Literary Award for Fiction, which she won twice, teaches fiction writing at UPenn, which is super awesome. She sounds great. Wish I could take a class with her. That sounds awesome. Anyway. I just love the cover of this. It's so beautiful. It says DUMBLING. Dumpling. Oh, okay. The cover painting is by an artist called Robert Pius. It's called Saturday Night, and it was painted in 1938. I think that's really gorgeous. I love a unique cover like this, and I love that it's like a painting, you know. But the synopsis of this book is: Noon and Herbie are deeply in love, living in a tightly knit African American neighborhood in South Philadelphia during the 1940s. But their marriage remains unconsummated because of a horrible incident in Noon's past, so each seeks comfort elsewhere. Noon in the warm acceptance of the neighborhood church, Herbie in the arms of Ethel, a jazz singer. Then, one day, an infant girl is left on their doorstep, and later, Ethel blesses them with her 5-year-old niece. Suddenly and unexpectedly a family, Herbie, Noon, and their 2 girls draw closer, until an outside threat reawakens a fire in Noon, causing her to rise up and fight to hold her family and her community together. Diane McKinney Whetstone's Tumbling is a poignant, exquisitely rendered story of the ties that bind us and the secrets that keep us apart. I think it just sounds really interesting. It's kind of a family falling together. I'm very excited to read it. If anyone's wondering how it is, I'll let you know once I get around to reading it. Alright. I wonder if the author has an about page. Oh, it's quite long. Oh, she seems super cool. She's also a graduate of UPenn. And the other books she's written. Oh, she hasn't written in a while. When was this book published? Wow. This book was published in 1996. But this edition, the Harper edition, was published in 2010. So actually, I don't know if she still teaches at UPenn, but she's written 4 other books. She wrote Tempest Rising, which was published in 1998. She wrote Blues Dancing, which was published in 1999. She wrote Leaving Cecil Street, which was published in 2004, and she wrote Trading Dreams at Midnight, which was published in 2008. Alright, let's put this one down, and we're going to look at the second book I bought, which is quite different, from a completely different section of Barnes & Noble. This one is called The Honey Witch, and it also has an absolutely beautiful cover. Look at all those flowers. This one's called The Honey Witch. Honeywytch. And this one is by Sydney J. Shields. I think I was definitely drawn to the cover. I absolutely judge a book by its cover. And I think it's so pretty. Look at all those flowers. The cover design was by Lisa Marie Pompilo. And then it says the cover art was by Trevelyan and Shutterstock. So, our back of the book says, the honey witch is cursed to never find true love, but when she meets a young woman who doesn't believe in magic, she dares to hope for more. Marigold Claude had always preferred the company of meadow spirits to the suitors who've tried to woo her. So when her grandmother whisks her away to the tiny isle of Innisfree with an offer to train her as the next honey witch, she accepts immediately. But her newfound magic and independence come with a price. No one can fall in love with the honey witch. Then Lottie Burke, a notoriously grumpy skeptic, shows up on her doorstep, and Marigold can't resist the challenge to prove to her that magic is real, even at the risk of losing her home and her heart. So, definitely a different vibe than the other book. I struggle a bit with fantasy. I feel like, honestly, a lot of it isn't very good. But I just read a lovely, lovely book called The House of Frank. Let me grab it. This is The House of Frank. I bought it at a local bookstore, a local indie bookstore near me. And it's also by a local author. And this one was just lovely. I picked it up because I know the person who works at the local bookstore. We used to work together at a different bookstore, and they were very excited about this book, and I trust their judgment, so I bought it. The synopsis of this one is a warm and hopeful story of a lonely witch consumed by grief, who discovers a whimsical cast of characters in a magical arboretum. Powerless witch Psyche is ready to enact her sister's final request, to plant her remains at the famed Ash Gardens. When Psyche arrives at the always stormy sanctuary, she is welcomed by its owner, an enormous knit cardiganed mythical beast named Frank, who offers her a role as one of the estate's caretakers. Overcome with grief, Psyche accepts, desperate to put off her final farewell to her sister. As Psyche works harder in avoidance of her pain, she learns more about Frank, the decaying house at Ash Gardens, and the lives of the motley staff, including bickering twin cherubs, a mute ghost, a cantankerous elf, and an irritating half-witch, among others. Over time, she rediscovers what it means to love and be wholly loved, and how to allow her joy and grief to coexist. Warm and inventive, House of Frank is a stirring portrait of the ache of loss and the healing embrace of love. And our cover design was done by Paul Barrett and illustrated by Barry Blankenship. So, I recently read this book by Kay Sinclair, and I loved it. It's so lovely and sweet. Obviously, it has a fantastical twist. Or not twist, but like a sprinkling of fantasy with its beasts and cherubs and witches. However, it's mostly about the characters and about healing and about grief. And it did make me cry at the end. So, highly recommend this book. Now that I've finished it. I don't know if you can find it everywhere. I'm not sure how widely published it is, because it is by a author in my city. However, if you can get it, do. It's really wonderful. Also by a Black author. So, lovely. But that was a little tangent to say that House of Frank really warmed me to fantasy right now, especially sapphic and queer fantasy, and especially fantasy that's very earthbound. I'm not really into high fantasy, but I enjoy, a little bit of magic on earth, So, this was mostly chosen because I just finished House of Frank and I really enjoyed it, and I want something similar. And this doesn't seem quite as emotional as House of Frank, but it is about gay witches and sort of doesn't seem to be high fantasy. It seems to just be like, oh, they're in a house together. And I definitely prefer that. So I'm excited to give this one a try as well. I'll let you know what I think of it. Alright, let's bring our little bead guy out. Yeah, I was an English major in college, so I read a ton of books in college and kind of burnt out a little bit. So I've been trying to get back into reading, and I'm also reading a book right now. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of a long title. It's like The Essential Ghosts of Beatrice Porter, I believe is what it's called. But it's in my car right now, so I can't go get it. Because it's the one I bring with me to places. Because it's kind of a slow read. It's very dense, but it's really good. It's kind of about the lives of these sisters, and with a couple like flashback chapters to their father's life. And there's a lot of stories, like the father tells stories to the daughters and passes them down. That was a really, really bad way of describing it. Maybe if anyone wants to hear more about the books I have, I could bring it out and do a better explanation. But it's definitely slow going. I read House of Frank in like 3 hours one morning. I just like woke up and read and finished it by noon. So definitely, I'm usually a really fast reader, but for some reason, The Essential Ghost of Beatrice Porter is taking me quite a while. Not that that's a strike against it. Alright, so finally, we're going to take a look at The Complete Language of Flowers, which is a very pretty book. It's just covered in flowers. And it just goes through different flowers and their symbolic meanings. I thought that this book would be nice to go through in a video. I'm getting a tripod that will hold my phone so I can do some top-down stuff so you can look at these beautiful illustrations. But I also thought that it would be good for my writing because I'd love to bring in stuff like this in my writing. Basically, the back of this book says, for centuries, artists and lovers have used the secret language of flowers or florography to discreetly send, this says overt messages, I think that's supposed to be covert messages, because overt means like very obvious, so to discreetly send covert messages, I'm editing it myself, of their desires and emotions. A simple flower could reveal a variety of hidden meanings, from a flirtatious "I like you" to a serious declaration of everlasting love. For example, a sweet pea reported a friendly "I'm thinking of you." A lavender rose screamed love at first sight. Geraniums signified friendship. The hibiscus wished peace and happiness. As Teresa Dietz has meticulously compiled over 1,001 of your favorite flowers into this beautifully updated and definitive guide, complete with colorful illustrations, organized by both scientific and common names. Each species contains fascinating and forgotten symbolic flower meanings from ancient Greek and Roman times to today, whether used as a reference to create beautifully bespoke wedding bouquets or as a flower companion to plant stunning garden combinations. This comprehensive edition is perfect for every flower lover. I'm a little concerned by this, blurb on the back, specifically because of the discreetly send overt messages, which is contradictory and also definitely not what they were trying to say. And also writing a lavender rose screamed love at first sight. Obviously, I'm not gonna accuse them baselessly of using AI, but I don't know. Sometimes I read stuff and I'm like, that's a little suspicious. But I don't think the whole book is gonna be like that. I think that was just the blurb on the back. Alright. Should we look at a few pages? Let's take a look. Look at these flowers on the front. Yeah, I really think this would be a lot easier to do with a top-down microphone. Or not microphone, a top-down filming setup. Which is why I'm gonna hold off of really flipping through it. But we'll do a couple, see if you guys are interested in that. Alright, hold on, they're squeaking outside. There we go. Alright. So, this is our first page for the letter A. I think it's all organized alphabetically. So first, our very first plant in the book is actually, it says apies. It's right at the top. Right up here at the top. It's so clumsy. It's fine. Apies. And it is a fir or fir tree. And it does appear to be just a pine cone. But nothing is ever just anything, right? And it says the symbolic meanings are elevation, friendship, height, honesty, longevity, manifestation, perceptiveness, progress, remembrance, resilience, and time. And then it has a section underneath that says folklore and facts. And then it says other members of the Pinaceae or pine family can be set apart from apies by how the needles look flat and how they attach to the twig. The needles of young apies are sharper. So, that's how the general, set up the book. Oh, these are the L flowers. Oh, and it looks like there's also a section for possible powers. That's funny. I'm gonna go to the lilies section. There's a ton of them. Alright. So, it looks like this beginning of the lilies section is very long. We have our just basic lily flower right there. And it says lilium, and it has a skull right next to it, which I'm assuming is denoting that it's poisonous. So its symbolic meanings are beauty, birth, devotion, divinity, exalted and unapproachable, honor, humility, magnificence, majesty, modesty, religious pride, purity of heart, supreme, sweetness and humility, unity of heart. And the specific color meanings are, if it's orange, it means desire, dislike, hatred, passion, and revenge. So I can see how that might get a little confusing. And then if it's scarlet, it would mean high-bred, high-souled, or high-souled aspirations. If it's white, it means celebration, majesty, modesty, purity, sociability, sweetness, virginity, and youth. And if it's yellow, the yellow one is funny. I think I might like this one best. False, falsehood, gaiety, gay, gratitude, happiness, I'm walking on air, lies, and playful beauty. That's really funny. I'm kind of obsessed with that. And then its possible powers are breaking love spells, exorcism, fends off ghosts, keeps unwanted visitors away, protection, purification, repelling negativity, and truth. That's so funny, I love that. And then folklore and facts. The plant lilium in the garden to fend off ghosts. Plant lilium in the garden to fend off evil. Wear or carry lilium to break a love spell that has been cast upon you by a specific person. Bury an old piece of leather in a bed of lilium to bring forth clues from a crime committed in the past year. That's so silly. That was not what I was expecting it to say. back says there's about 1,000 flowers in here. So if anyone would like a bit less clumsy of a introduction to this book, or not introduction, a less clumsy display of this book, definitely let me know. I'd love to do it. I might do it anyway. With that, I hope you have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whatever, and I will see you next time.